Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Digestive. Jesus Christ. Today is one of those days where I could just be happy that I don't shoot my brains out this evening. The reason is, well, I feel how I'm getting older. And I know this because it takes me now 2 nights of bad sleep. And I can't handle anything anymore. It's just one drooly day of doing barely anything and just achieving the minimum. So if I'm at work, please be not that day where you're taking me to the office, talking to me if I should get a raise. Either way, well, the reason why I am this groggy this day is because I had to wake up this morning and I had to go to the embassy. And Jesus Christ, why are embassies so difficult to work with? I know now from a couple of friends that just going to whatever embassy for whatever it is a pain in the ass because they can't do anything by mail. It doesn't matter where you go. You can't send them anything. You have to make an appointment. You have to be there. And then it's everything on paper. And in my embassy, this guy. Today he was friendly. I think today he was friendly because I had to take an early spot. And I believe it was the earliest spot, so he didn't have to go through any dumb work. I was his first idiot of the day that wanted something from him and didn't know what I have to bring myself. So he was very helpful. But last time I was there around noon, and then this guy was proper Russian. I was at the Russian embassy. He was proper Russian. He was as Russian as any American movie would portray any Russian. And I think he's proper Russian. I don't think he talks any German. I don't think he really speaks any English. And this is why I understand why he has this kind of sort of mood. Because he took a job where he's in a different country, not speaking the language, probably not really caring about the culture, and then he has the most boring, bureaucratic piece of shit job that you could do. I don't know, I will probably, next time I will go, and I have to go again. He was very helpful. He told me everything I have to bring next time. And I hope it works, because it's always a 3-hour train ride to get there. So, I will bring him some chocolates or something, because this guy needs, I don't know. He at least needs chocolate. That's the minimum he needs to get a certain pleasure out of life, I think. So yeah, that's why I'm today a bit tired and I didn't do anything today, which is why I thought, I will record my podcast today, because then I at least did something. I was at the gym before, and I thought, man, at least I will go to the gym, and I did like 3 sets of bench presses, and then I thought, that's it. That's not the day. Today is not today to get stronger. Today is the day to go back home, still taking a shower, and then ramble into the void of depression. Anyway, I wanted to bring some car stuff into this podcast, because maybe I will do more car stuff in the future, because first of all, I had some people liked the video. I found some new subscribers. If you are one of these subscribers, thank you for watching. And second of all, this is something I always really wanted to do. I always wanted to be the guy people watch on television driving cool cars, because that's all I did my youth. That's the one. Like many car people, I just sat there, watched Top Gear, and then Top Gear was fun, but that was enough. I had to watch every car journalist there is. And I think I don't watch that many anymore. I think I started watching Doc DeMuro. I think he has a very good podcast. That's a very good podcast to keep up in car news. That's a big. The other big podcast I like to watch, not podcast, YouTube show is Throttle House with Thomas and what's his other name? Hi, I'm Thomas. That's how they start. Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot. I watched like everything they have. And the other guy I love to watch is Chris Harris. Right now I'm a bit struggling to watch his stuff because he makes now this home videos, and I don't think they really work. And the thing is, he has a very special style. So because he is so good at doing his job, he doesn't need a script, but he just improvises. But he needs someone who follows him around to capture the improvisation. So you have someone who he improvises and someone who records professionally, and now he just improvises. He only he has his like DJI camera, and he runs around with it and talks, and what he says is interesting, but it's hard to watch for me, at least, because he used to hire guys to make amazing videos. And now before it was like a jazz band. They were improvising, but you always need a professional producer that records it, so you capture the beauty of jazz music. And now you just have the guy is now playing the trumpet while holding microphone between his legs and recording everything himself. But I think he's working on some new stuff where he hired his guys again. To call it something with grip. I don't remember. I used to watch his stuff over and over. Like one of my favorite videos he did was during his Top Gear phase, but not the ones he did for the official show, the ones he did on YouTube. It was his YouTube channel, Chris Harrison Cars, for Top Gear. And there he compared a 911R with a Peugeot 205 Rally. And it's just, he used to have this very relaxed music in the background, and it was very relaxing to watch. That was his style, and I think this is why he never really worked on Top Gear with him, like the solo videos, the car reviews they did, because Top Gear is the opposite of his style. It's fast paced, 100% edited. Probably also, they probably tried to do some improvisation, but he said somewhere in an interview that it was just wasn't the way he worked. So I'm glad he's back. And also, by the way, talking about Top Gear and Chris Harris, is I think they did some good movies. I don't think Rory Reid, who's now doing for Auto Trader, the videos, I don't really think he was fit for this kind of role, but I think the chemistry between Matt LeBlanc and Chris Harris was very fun to watch. I think you could really see that these guys were actual friends. So I think they did a couple of films only with these two guys. There was one, I was thinking of one today, which was really good, where I think Chris Harris went to America, I think actually to visit Matt LeBlanc's farm. I think they lived there for a while, and then they test all these off-road cars, and you can really feel these two have chemistry. And this was a really good film. I want to watch it tonight. And then there was one with a Mercedes. What was it? Was it a 663? 63, I think, probably. And I think an Aston Martin. I think that's what it was. That was also a cool film. Very scripted, but cool visuals. And that's something I think Grand Tour was the funnier show, but Top Gear still looked better. I mean, these guys, they made Planet Earth, BBC. They know something about cameras. It just looked better. Grand Tour, everything else, they took everything with them. I think if they did a show with just Chris Harris and Matt LeBlanc, they probably could have made something fun. And then in the end, who was there? There was this cricket guy who had an accident, something, and we don't hear anything about him anymore. He had an accident on Top Gear. This comedian who is like taller Ricky Gervais and Chris Harris, he kind of stayed from beginning to end. He had, I don't know, he worked with like 10 different people on Top Gear, because I guess he was the only real car journalist. That was kind of the thing. And then the comedian who likes cars, and then a cricket player. I don't really know why he liked cars, but never really thought he was a Top Gear person. Either way, I think that was my little car thing. I wrote some shit down. YouTube. I'm now trying to figure out how Reddit works. I made an account probably a year ago, and it's so weird how it looks. It scares me, and I think Reddit is kind of mean as well. YouTube is like kind, because YouTube, it understands what kind of video it is. It shows it to people who might be interested in, and then they watch it, and if it's okay, they will like leave a nice comment. There aren't actually that many mean comments, I think, or is it just on small creators? Well, either way, it feels like YouTube is kind of Reddit is kind of mean. I posted my video on a couple of car forums. Is it called like Reddit sites, whatever? No, what? And yeah, a couple of them. The meanest one. There was one comment that was the meanest. The worst part about this video is that he tries to be funny. I don't. That really, like, I read that sitting on the toilet. And it just bumped me out for like a minute or like 5 or something. It was, Jesus fucking Christ. But luckily I got like enough good, like happy comments on YouTube, because I don't know if people would. It's like so nice that what people post on YouTube, all those comments, it's so nice. I guess, you know, when you're bigger, you get like a couple of mean messages, but you know, I guess you will take your things with you. You know, people who actually like to watch your stuff, you take them with you, and then it's gonna be okay. You always have your fans or something. And I was recommending some car stuff. And there was someone posted, I don't know, I was recommended a picture of a Peugeot, what was it, a 206? I will not Google it now. And it was beautiful. It was a GTI. So I'm not sure if it's 206. I can't remember all those names. And it was a beautiful car. It was like a metallic blue with white wheels, and it was he wrote roast my car, and that was the subreddit. The subreddit was roast my car. People can upload their car and people will roast it. And I just looked at it and I was like, Jesus, that's beautiful car. So I gave him a compliment, and the next day they blocked me. Like they read through, like someone they just saw the comment, and someone reported me. Someone saw my comment and reported my compliment, and they wrote me, you're now blocked for 60 days or something to post anything again on the subreddit. I was that was not nice. But yeah, subreddit is a weird thing, and I don't know what to do on there. If a following can be generated, I think subreddit is more for people to talk about things they like, right? Because there's a subreddit for everything. Yeah, there was for the Rolls-Royce review, there was a subreddit for Rolls-Royce lover, or just enthusiasts. Lover sounds a bit sexual. But yeah, I couldn't be mean to this little Peugeot because I love a hot hatch. That's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite kind of car to drive. Like, because because the little hot hatch is like, even it's fun in the city if it doesn't have enough power, but just enough power, and the steering is quick and changing the gear is fun. You can actually like you can have fun in the city, where you have a speed limit of 50 kilometers an hour. That's enough for a little car, like a little hot hatch who can turn quickly. Then the city, like at night or at night, that's like your go-kart track. You just can cruise through the city like a maniac, but because it's like such a tiny car and lacks power, it's one of the best things you can do. When the roads get a little bit opener, then you need a little bit of speed. If you go through through mountain roads, you need a little bit more speed. Depends how wide they are. But especially if you go up, you need a little bit of power, right? You need to go through those cars. So I don't know how the fuck I would get through this. Yeah. Today Rick and Morty's coming out, which is a wonderful show. Season whatever, I don't know, season 8. I think it's coming out on the same day that Clarkson's Farm is coming out, which is a wonderful show. I think everybody should watch Clarkson's Farm, because we really do underappreciate our farmers. And I have through my job as a journalist, I had a lot of conversations with farmers, and after the interview they like to talk what bothers them. And it's a tough job. They have to work in some cases all night and then all day, and it's just them and maybe their wife and their kid, and they have this huge, those many animals and all this land. Then it's just like a little family that does this. Usually everywhere else, if the operation was as big as any farm, as most farms in Switzerland, it would be like, I don't know, at least 50 people. But there, farming is like, oh no, it's like the 3 of you, maybe a couple of farmers that will help you. And yeah, this week you have to plow the soil or whatever, and you have to do it in this week, and please work for 16-hour days and sleep little. They work some instances they work like bankers, and they work really, really hard to live in. They're not rich, farmers, they're doing all right, as like you can see, but they're not rich. If these farmers would decide to study finance and go work in a bank, do those working hours, they would be millionaires. And yeah, I mean, you would think a farmer compared to a finance guy, whatever, is dumb, but that's just because everything he knows is about farming. And that's all he cares about is farming. They grew up on the farm, they know everything about the animals, they know everything about the crops, they know everything about the soil. They went to some farming school, to learn more. It's complicated, and then there's this paperwork. So they don't know it. They don't know, I don't know, about art and culture. I'm not saying not everybody doesn't, but that's what they care about. They care about their farm. And the banker, well, he cares about money, and he only cares about money. And probably the farmer thinks he's an idiot because a banker can't see the difference between a little potato and a little plant, corn plant or whatever. Or, if they need a lot of water or something else. Anyway, then this comes out, all this Clarkson's Farm, 25th of May. And so that's a Rick and Morty. And there's always, like, I think in summer and December, there's always a time when all the shows I watch, they come out, and it's just wonderful time a year. It's like Christmas for me, where you can just, in the evening, every Thursday, you come home and you have like something new to watch. Usually I miss when the shows come out, and then you're like, the first night you're like binging 3 episodes, which is not good. I don't think binging is good, because it's just too much information. Because honestly, if you're gonna watch 3 hours of television, you should watch Lawrence of Arabia, which is a better experience than any show's 3 episodes. I think shows are very good for the lives we tend to live, of working all day, coming home, being tired, cooking something lazily, and then you have maybe an hour time to watch. You have an hour time before you have to get ready for bed and brush your teeth, and you have to spend time with your spouse or wife or kids or friends also sometimes. So an hour is just good enough, so you can enjoy yourself for a little. And we don't have time to watch every night we don't have time to watch Lawrence of Arabia every night. So if you one evening decide to watch 3 episodes of Invincible, you should rather turn it off and watch one time Lawrence of Arabia, which is one of the best movies ever made. And I don't think we watch enough movies nowadays, enough good movies. It's like books. We used to read more books, and I'm not a big reader, but I read, I think, did I talk about it last time? I don't know. I read like a couple of the most famous and most important books to understand human culture as it is, and there are also a couple of movies that you should watch to understand human culture as it is right now, and Lawrence of Arabia is one of them. I will make an episode dedicated to movies, because I watched a lot of them. I don't do anymore, because once it gets harder and harder to see something new and something special, right? When you get into the movies, it's all amazing, but after a while, all movies start to repeat themselves. It's all kind of the same-ish, and it's really hard to watch new movies. I've been watching a lot of Korean movies. That's what you should do if you get into movies, and you will probably first you do is get into American movies. You should just switch country. You will probably watch some the famous French movies. You watch some of the famous Japanese movies, some of the famous Korean movies, whatever. But what you should do is actually you pick a country and you just watch a lot of their movies, and then it's like discovering movies all over again, because then they have a completely different culture, they act differently, they produce differently, and you can discover something you love once more. Let's see. Tiki. Yeah, I just want to graze the subject, just graze F1 for a little. I didn't watch uh, the Japan Grand Prix because usually it's not a very interesting Grand Prix. It's a beautiful track. It's a beautiful to watch, but that's one of the tracks you just want to watch the Q1 uh, qualification and just see how these cars drive on this road. Like, they have this slalom part and where these cars drive with like 250 kilometers an hour, and it's just incredible to watch. But I just want to say, I always said it to everybody that I never believed in the Hamilton hype. I think most people knew that it's not gonna work because we saw in the past what happens to all those guys that go to Ferrari, and they always go to Ferrari once they reach their peak in a different team, and that I just don't understand why they do that. Why does Ferrari always get those guys after they reach their peak? Um, because same with Vettel and Alonso, they had a car which was able to win races, and at the same time it fitted their driving style. So there was a slot where this team could win, but it's always like the teamwork between, it's between machine and driver. Once you take away the machine and give a different machine, it's not. There's no guarantee the driver will do the same. But it just was a business decision. It was a business decision, and I think that's kind of sad that they should have taken the driver they should have taken a riskier driver maybe, just to make a sports decision. I think they just went for the business decision. They know they can sell merch. It's the biggest driver ever, and yeah, just incredible what Max Verstappen did this last race. He is now the best driver. Everybody agrees. And Hamilton, it's nice to see him Ferrari. He did some amazing photos when they started, and he did this amazing Ferris Bueller video. And yeah, in the end, it's nice to see him race. And I hope he will win some proper Grand Prix. He won the sprint, right? He won the sprint, but I hope they will. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm hoping he will win a couple of Grand Prix. I really do. Because everybody, in the end, every Formula One driver wants to see Ferrari. Formula One fan wants to see Ferrari win. That's the truth, I guess. So, and with that, I will end the second episode of this podcast. Thanks for listening, and I don't know, send questions so I can do a Q&A at a certain point. Thank you very much, and bye-bye!